This video, I want to create a virtual machine, an instance on GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and I'm going to create a database instance. I'm going to be using Cloud SQL, right? And inside the database instance, I'm going to create a database, and inside the database, I'm going to create a table, right? And inside the table, I'm going to add some registers, some users, and I'm going to query the data, right? So to be able to connect, so one thing I want to do is that I want to connect the database instance, right, to my virtual machine, right? So let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my virtual machine. So I'll just come to Compute Engine, VM instances, and then I'm going to create my virtual machine, create instance. I'll just call the name of the instance app1, and I'll create it in the US West 1 region, which is like the area where I am. And I'm going to use this smaller one, just E2 micro, the machine type. Then I'm going to create the instance. So while this is being created, I'm going to go and create my Cloud SQL instance. So I'll just type Cloud SQL, right? So I'll click on SQL, and then I'm going to use MySQL, right? Create instance. I'm going to use MySQL, create MySQL, and I'm going to use the enterprise one. Just so for the instance ID, I'll just put Cloud SQL 1. Let me say 1. Press something. So then I'll just say admin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The password, let me just check that. Okay, it's correct. Then for the region, just choose US West 1. And I'm just going to use single zone for what I want. I'm just going to choose single zone. So let's come to specific zone. Let's see. No, we don't need anything here. So for customize your instance, click on that. For the machine configuration, I'm just going to choose one vCPU, and I don't need a lot of, I don't need a lot of, that. So I'm also going to choose for the storage, I'm just going to choose 10 GB, right? Just the minimum. Let me see. So that's okay. Now for the connection, I'm going to choose a private IP address because just generally, it's just good to put your database, not to expose your database to the public. So I'm going to choose private IP, and I won't check the public IP. I won't check that. So I think that will be it. I'll just click on create instance. So once this instance is created, I'm going to connect to it, right? So this is it. So let's see users. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my virtual machine and connect remotely to it. And then inside my virtual machine, I'm going to, install my SQL client and all that. So let me go back to VM instances. Okay, the app one has been created. Connect remotely to it, SSH. So transferring SSH key to the VM. So authorize. Okay. Okay, so this is it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect, use sudo app, you get updates, right? Just to update the packages. So sudo app get updates. So it should be updates. Okay. Then next, I'm going to install the default MySQL client. So sudo apt get install default MySQL clients. Yes, enter. Okay. So once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the Cloud SQL instance, right? And to do that, I need a private IP address, right? So let me clear all this. Okay, so come back here. Let me do this. So let me come back here. Or let me this. Okay. So then I'm going to just copy this command to connect. So it's my SQL host, right? Let me increase this. So my SQL host, and then now I have to give the private IP address, right, of my Cloud SQL, right? The user, I'm going to use the root user, and the password that I gave when I was creating the Cloud SQL was admin12345, right? So let me go back to my Cloud SQL. Okay, so it's like it's still taking time. Instance is being updated, so it's still taking time. If you look down here, it says creating Cloud SQL 1. So we have to wait for that. So I'm going to pause. So my Cloud SQL instance is up and running. As you can see, the status is runnable, right? It's green, right? So, so now I have a private IP address. I have a private IP address which I can use, right? I'll just copy that. Then I'll come back to my Cloud Shell, right? Come back to my Cloud Shell, and then I'm going to edit this. So I'm going to come edit, erase this, do this, erase this. Then I'm going to put the private IP address there, paste. I was not copied correctly. So let me, okay, let me fix this. Okay, so, no, it's just gonna, so I have, let me quickly fix this. Okay, just delete everything and copy again. Copy this. Paste, and then the private IP address, copy, then I'm going to paste it. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So make sure, and then enter. Okay, so that's it now. So I'm connected, right? This, my virtual machine is connected to the Cloud SQL instance, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a database, right? So I'm going to use this SQL commands now, right? So it's going to be create database, right? Create database, and I'll give the name of the database. I'll say DB students. Okay, so then that command. Okay, then now I'm going to show the database, right? Show database. This databases. Okay, so that's it, right? So now I want to create a table inside this database, right? So I'm going to use this database, my data DB students, use DB students. Okay, now I'm currently inside this database. So I'm just going to use this create command, right, to create a table, right? So this command creates table, right? And the name of the table is going to be new students, and this is just like configuring the data type, right, for each of the column in the table, right? So for the code column, it's going to be integer. For the name column, it's going to be varchar, which is like string, right? And then for the cohort table, and the primary key for the table is going to be the code, right? So that will be it. Then let me see, show table, show tables, show tables. Okay, so that's the table. This is the table. So I just have only one table inside the database. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to now add registers, add, like data, right, inside my table. So just going to put all these paste. So insert into the table, right? So the code, the name, the cohort, right? The code for this one will be 1. The name is Taiwo, and the cohorts, right? New students. Perhaps the student came in 2025. This one came in 2024 cohorts. So that's just it. So the next thing we can do is to, let's just see, select all from the table. What's the name of the table? New students. So let's see. So that's it. That's the table, right? So that's it. Then I can decide to query. So I'm querying my table now. I'm querying. So I can decide to say, okay, select. I just want to select the students, the 2025 cohort, right? So this the command for that would just be select. So name from. So let me use this. Let me use capital letter for the command, the SQL command. Just select name from the name of the table, which is new students, where cohort, then like 2025. Those that came in 2025. So let's see. Okay, so it worked. So now let's go to our cloud. So if you see, Taiwo came in 2025, David was in 2025 cohort, and then Vivek was in 2025 cohort, as you can see here. So we'll be able to query our database. So let's just come to Cloud SQL to check. So if I click on this now, and then I click on database, you see, this is our database, is right in there. It's right in there. So then we use the root user. So that's just it. Hope this helps.